And we're live. Yay. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
It's the TheCrushCast. It's Sunday night. It's 10-ish p.m. I think it's going to be the official time, 10-ish p.m. from here on out.
Deal.
Sounds about right. I'm telling you, want to be just like the Wayne Show. What's up, everybody out there? I, of course, am AphroditesCrush. Today with me, I actually have not just one, but two guests today. First off.
That's what I'm drinking.
I'm Ian. Just Ian.
And I'm Nate.
Now, if you watch this show and also watch the TNT show, which, thank you for both of you, because you get to see me twice a week. But,
Yeah.
And I guess Ian too. You, of course, know that Nate has made appearances on the TNT show and the now archived No Rice podcast, apparently.
Yeah. I've been meaning to put some of the archives on my channel.
Got it.
But that's like, I need like an intern for all this shit, man.
Hey, Nate, you looking for
so easy? Oh, are you kidding? I can get some interns. Like, what do you want? Do you want like 50 interns from India? What do you want? That's like 20.
Yeah, I need some click
farmers. It's actually
farms.
a lot more than $20. Well, click farmers are $20.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I actually know the price of click farmers because I almost bought some for someone I know. Like,
Yeah.
I want 10,000 likes, and like that is 10,000 likes on a YouTube channel is $49 for all listeners. Just FYI.
Yeah.
So, seeing as we don't have necessarily 10,000 followers, we didn't buy it.
that would be very interesting. Just let you know we're not condoning the use of click farmers or like box.
Right.
Or
I don't know. I might condone them. They're legitimate views. Kind of, sort of, not really.
Kind of, sort of, not really.
Hey, a click's a click, right?
Click's a click. Doesn't matter if it's like a baby
But
and he doesn't know what he's doing.
if I'm going to get paid, it has to be legit. It has to be legit.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Nate before, though, the reason he's only a voice is he doesn't really want to do a face reveal yet. Don't ask me why, but
The government, man.
It's going to be one of those specialty videos where, like, you have him tied up in some random warehouse and tell me about the shipment. Beating him while the hood's on his face, and then pulls it off, and you just see behind him without seeing the front of his face. Like, just tease it for as long as possible.
right.
Nate's probably like, I don't like where this is going.
They'll never break my spirit.
So, there's really not a whole lot going on this week in the world of, tech and nerdiness and randomness. Pretty much the biggest thing that happened this week is AMD Threadripper got released to the public, and like
And the Vega.
and Vega, and like everybody has been covering that, so I'm not going to really bump into that too much. There's a couple small news articles I've been seeing online. It's like really small, like really niche stuff. I mean, everything from, small companies saying, we did this, we did that. There's just really not a lot happening.
Yeah.
I got almost no. Well, there is one thing. The new Sega Genesis flashback. The review unit went out to all the reviewers this past week. And dude, did the crap ever hit the fan or what? Have you heard about this?
I have not heard about this.
Apparently, At Games, which is the company that has been producing these, had put out a statement that says all the review copies have been defective, and that when it actually is released in September, it'll be a completely different story.
Right.
Now, I don't know about you, but the likelihood that so many of these units were sent out and were quote unquote defective and not an example of the release quality seems a little fishy to me. What do you guys think?
Oh, I know what's going on. So basically, do you guys know anything about the NES flashback? So
The NES Trashback?
yeah. Yes, but basically, it has ROMs on it, so they probably ran into the same exact thing that the NES you call the Trashback is. Basically, you're able to mod it and just put a bunch of NES ROMs on there. So Sega Genesis probably didn't realize that, and then they probably sent a bunch out, and then they're like, "These are all defective. We need to recall every single one of them." When in fact, they're probably just hackable right now. So I'd hold on to those.
Yeah, apparently the build quality's bad. Like everything's bad about this. There's some hardware issues. Apparently, there's just a whole bunch of things just wrong. That all the reviewers are like, "Why did you send us this? This is trash."
See, like, I heard a rumor that there's a country that still makes Sega Genesis games.
That's not the wrong possibility. I mean, you have a lot of companies that use the same technology to build, like, the Retron 5 consoles.
Right.
Stuff like that. That's not surprising. There could be somebody who just got their hands on the specs somehow and reverse engineered it and basically, this costs like $20 to make. Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah.
So I know how much you hate Nintendo because they failed us so many times.
Well, no, I don't hate Nintendo. I'm at this point, it's a constant and unrelenting disappointment.
Okay, so I have to ask you your opinion. What did you think of Breath of the Wild? Did you like it? Did you try it?
Oh, you mean most of that cell shading crap that barely worked on the Wii U? That's one of the things that is unrelentingly disappointing, is that they keep making essentially the same game over again. I mean, people rag on EA Sports and 2K for making the same damn sports games every year, but Nintendo does it. Oh, it's so innovative! Oh my goodness, it's so fantastic! The visuals. I was like, number one, it looks like crap. It looked like crap since it was revealed. Number two, everyone's gobsmacking over the gameplay. It's a Zelda game. If you're still gobsmacked over Zelda game's gameplay, then apparently you have pretty low standards. And I know I'm going to have hate for that. But I haven't touched a Wii U and I haven't touched a Switch. So, as it pertains to that game and those consoles, my name's Paul. This is between y'all.
So, I actually, I'm going to get crap, from you and other people, but I actually like Breath of the Wild better than Ocarina of Time, and that was my favorite.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a bold statement, man.
All the hate just shifted from me and went straight to you.
I know! It's better than Ocarina of Time, suck it!
What did you like about it so much?
It's hard. That's what I like. It's harder. The enemies scale you're searching for the Master Sword and you can't find it. We were 100 hours in and we couldn't find it, so we had to look it up online. There's stuff to do after the game's beaten,
So why the hell did Link let the Master Sword get away from him? Link, you're a moron.
He is a moron sometimes. He absolutely is. My cousin, she makes fun of the Wii U all the time. She's like, "Did you bring the Wii U?" Because she played it one time. I'd say that's probably one good game right now. Although it doesn't work fantastic for the Wii U, you're absolutely right there. But it's cheaper than buying a $450 Switch, Switch isn't worth that much.
Didn't you get a Switch though?
Oh no, I saved up the money for a Switch, and you know what? Lo and behold, scalpers. I'm not paying $150 extra on top of $300.
Right.
Yeah. It's like the people who are ready to pay $300 for the NES Classic.
Right. It's like,
are you stupid?
Are you stupid? Yeah, exactly.
But I do want to ask Nate though about his opinions on a couple other articles that we did like a couple weeks ago. Did you hear about that leaked dev kit about Sony was like trying to crack down on? Yeah. So like, yeah, they had like a.
So the PS4 dev kit was leaked out to the internet, and basically it's a programmer's dev kit, so anybody can download it. And I said that no, people like essentially one of this guy, his actual like Twitter username was PS4 hacks, and then he tweeted about it, and Sony shut him down. And I'm like, well.
What? Shut him down?
Yeah, they threatened to strike his Twitter account with a DMCA takedown because his name is PS4 Hacks, and he's talking about the dev kit being leaked out. And I'm like, well, what do you expect? You're a hacking source that's talking about hacking the PS4 using an illegally downloaded dev kit.
Well, the whole thing about it was people are getting upset because Sony was like using like an algorithm to search for this type of stuff to crack down on anybody, but like that's even talking about it. So like you could get in trouble just for mentioning that there is a dev kit, even if you don't supply a link or anything like that, you know?
Yeah, that's called freedom of speech.
Right, but what Doug was saying though is he can, you know, his name was PS4 Hack, so like you could tell that he's like, you know, associated with that type of stuff.
Not necessarily, yeah, maybe. You know, who's to say? You know, it could just be a username. Like, was it with an X or with a CK? You know,
Haxor.
It could be. Maybe his last name is Hacks. We don't know this stuff, and I'm not going to judge him. And if he wants to put a link that may or may not be a dev kit, we don't know until we download it. It could be like, haha, Rickrolled! It could just be like a 2 terabyte Rickroll. We don't know this. That is what the internet is. You could get Rickrolled anytime. So I'm saying, download it and see you get Rickrolled. If you get Rickrolled, and you know, if you don't, then, and even if you do, just reshare that Rickroll all over the internet. You know, just so it stays up there forever. You know.
All right, so this is a something that a lot of people have been talking about the past couple days. There is a rumor going around that the Nerd Block company that puts out the subscription boxes for Nerd Block and Horror Block, and I think a couple more, is that their all their websites and also their brick and mortar stores are shutting down.
Oh, I could absolutely believe that.
So apparently, number one, their website is down, and it's been so for a couple days. Number two, they're still charging people for their block items.
Oh.
Number three, this has actually gotten out to quite a few different competitors, and they've mentioned this as well. It's actually been more than 7 days of social media silence from Nerd Block. And I'm actually pulling up some comments on Reddit here. I first read about this on, I guess, Horror Packs Facebook, and I was like, really? Now, one reason why I can believe that something like this is happening is that we have seen such a glut of subscription boxes hit the market in the past, 2 years?
Oh, yeah. I think he just opened up theirs and like limited time thing. And and it's like it's worth $50, except not because it's all their clearance stuff, and then they put it all in the thing, so they're really selling you like.
I thought Arcade Black was good though.
It's usually 1 month of the year to be like, oh yeah, but remember January? Well, it's usually in July, so they get you for half the year. They get you with one good one, and then they screw you the rest of the year. That's how it works.
There's
like, here's some candy. Now drop the soap 6 times.
There's also a rumor along with this that's stating that NerdBlock is actually restructuring, not going bankrupt, and stating that they're going to be dropping a couple of their subscription box lines, that they're changing the name of their company from NerdBlock to FanBlock.
See, I could. That's a tough call because, like, so nerds, you can only sell to like a certain group, but FanBlock, you could be a fan of anything.
Well,
like,
it's all perception too, because if someone takes a look at NerdBlock, they're like, oh well, they must only do stuff for comic books. So moving along, then they'll go to something that's specifically named for their option. FanBlock is a little bit more broad, a little bit more general, and can actually cover multiple different genres while not losing that first visitor to the website.
Right.
So I can understand if they're moving to that, but they probably should have announced this before they shut everything down. You know?
Oh yeah.
You know,
and then they shouldn't be billing people. Oh man, that's like.
I was gonna ask Nate, what's he think about those 3D printing blocks that I've seen out too? They're even trying to get into the game, like Matter Hacker boxes and stuff, where you get a bunch of film in, and then you get all these extra tools and stuff in there.
See, almost all subscription blocks is like, it's usually good 1 month, and then the rest it's not. Like, well, unless you know what you're getting for the whole year, ahead of time, it's a mystery box. That is what you're buying. Like, it's a themed mystery box.
So it could be a piece of shit, or
like
it could be something
missing. It'd be like Scooby-Doo thing. Guess what, guys? The mystery is a piece of poop. Or it'd be like, where did your money go? That's the mystery box.
Well, I don't really dislike the idea of the mystery box or the subscription box.
I know a lot of people like it. It's just, I know how they operate. It's all bulk order stuff that, like.
Oh yeah.
Like, you should be able to pick. Like, I'd be like, if you had an option for a mystery box and I was going to run a mystery box, I'd be like, cool. Here are some things that we like. Is there anything in particular you'd at least get to pick out 1 month or 2 months or even 3 months of stuff and be like, I want one of these in my box. So you at least know you're not getting all poop.
Well, like the one box I was thinking about getting was...
And no t-shirts. No t-shirts.
Right. The Maker
T-shirts
Geeks.
is really where a lot of that value goes, too. I mean, there's I got a Deadpool Aid t-shirt. I was like, okay, I don't even care about the rest of the box. This is just freaking awesome. You know what I mean? I think the t-shirts had a larger amount of value to whatever you're purchasing. That way, even if the rest of it sucks, you got a t-shirt out of it, you have something to show for your box purchase for that month.
Right. But the one box I was thinking about getting was Maker Geeks. They give you a breakdown of what you usually get. Like, you get like a couple rolls of filament, and then like like the list, like how many tools or whatever you get in it, and the only variations of it are, it's just like different colors of filament or materials.
How much is it?
What?
How much is it?
I'm not sure the exact price, but I think it was like $20 or something, somewhere around there.
If you get 2 rolls of filament.
Yeah, that's like the price of filament right there, just the $20.
Then that would be worth it. It doesn't matter what color it is. Like, that would be worth it, absolutely. But
you got to research your boxes though.
You have to research your boxes.
There's a lot of janky ones out there. You have to think at some point that maybe some people, when they start up their subscription box companies, they just go to a Hot Topic and just buy all their crap.
Yeah.
Loot Crate is another one I keep hearing about too. And
Loot Crate was like a big standout, and that was the one that I had for almost a year and a half.
Loot Crate. At first, it was good, and they're like, "Cool, we got it." and now. Like they're like $20 value, and it's like a pen, and I actually saw this for 1 month.
It's like a pen and some stickers and shit.
No, it was actually a pen. You got a T-shirt. It was like a pen, and it had like a blade on it from like some video game. I'm like, that's cool, but like $20 value for a pen, I don't.
It's not $20 cool, right?
It's not $20 cool. That's what I'm saying.
That's actually how I got into video game high school series. Was from Loot Crate. They sent out the first season on DVD, and I was watching it, and that's also how I got into Rocket Jump, because like they produced Video Game High School. Was they did Video Game High School, and like I put Loot Crate, and that just turned me on to like an entirely different part of YouTube that I watch on a regular basis now. Which really weird to think about it when you think about it like that. It's like it started from something that you on average paid about maybe $3 for. And then all of a sudden you discover an entirely different part of YouTube just based off of one DVD that you get in a random box that you paid $20 for 1 month.
I always think of like 20 times 12 is what? $240.
Right.
So you ask yourself, 12 Loot Crate, 12 boxes, is it worth $240?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Silence, exactly, because people don't like thinking about the big number.
I'll tell you what kind of boxes really seem like they get you is those food boxes. You know, like the snack boxes or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like a couple little bags of potato chips in there or something.
Yeah, my wife got the international one. Last month we got something from Japan. This month it's supposed to be stuff from France. So that's not bad. Not really too bad. I mean, not enough to like make me get back into that. I mean, the one thing though I will say that kind of added a little bit of value for that for me was when I was doing the Loot Crate unboxings on my YouTube channel.
Right now. That is where I think that's where they get most of their money. They're like unboxing time, because people are like, oh yeah, I want to see a mystery. Yeah. I want to see people like, I ordered some random shit from eBay. Let's see what it is. Oh God, why?
Have you seen? There's a lot of scammo videos out on YouTube right now. Well, I ordered an iPhone 6 from this dude on eBay, and a couple cords. But well, he didn't send me that. He sent me all this other stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep this, man. And it's always like the same things.
Oh yeah, I know.
Hilarious. I'm actually surprised that we haven't gotten to this point now in eBay where someone takes their video to just like on Sale Wars or whatever, or Storage Wars, and do like Storage Wars on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody can make it. I just made somebody $1 million. That just happened. Someone's going to come across this video. We're talking about subscription boxes and stuff, and be like, "Oh, unboxings on YouTube? Oh well, dude, is there any storage containers going on sale this week? Let's go ahead and go check it out." 1 million views.
Right.
I mean, if the dumpster divers can get 1 million views on YouTube, I'm pretty sure someone who actually buys their product legally can get that too.
Whoa! What are you talking about legally? Trash dumpster is public domain, unless it's on private property and it's locked, or you're trespassing. In which case, don't get caught.
Did you actually see where this one guy in Texas, where it is legal to dive? GameStop caught him, and they tried to prosecute.
I did not. I saw the one where the cops in one of the games, they pulled them over, and they're like, "What you doing?" And he's like, "I'm looking for posters." And then they're like, "Oh, cool." And the cop admitted to downloading a bunch of illegal ROMs off the internet. He's like, "Oh yeah, I downloaded that on my computer, and I'm playing it." And then he's like, and then he saw the stuff he pulled out of the dumpster, and he's like, "Oh man, maybe I should start dumpster."
I know there are some places where that's not legal, and people like to try to stretch the law out as much as they can.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I did a blog post once on my blogger about it, and I'm like, you know, and you know, I don't knock them for like not having a job, because you can tell like they actually have jobs and they only do this stuff at like certain times, you know, whatnot. I always like to watch the ones where they're like, no, it's the GameStop ones are always funny to watch, especially with the stuff they throw away, and
Right.
the people who try to dive in the Apple Store ones too.
See, like,
I'm like, come on, you should know that your chances of finding like an Apple Watch are 1 in a million.
Yeah, and then now you're just covered in shit.
That's normally covered in Cheeto dust and Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, not much more pleasant, but
they're like, ooh, is this an Xbox One? Oh, it's just the box, darn! Although boxes sell for $10 online, so.
Yep.
and Nate knows how. For those of you that don't know, Nate knows how to hustle.
Just a little bit.
Oh,
He knows the hustling game.
dude, as far as the hustle goes, like I just sold my broken iPhone on eBay yesterday for $150. I mean,
Whoa, what model?
iPhone
Holy
6.
shit.
Screen was
Cracked?
webbed.
Oh man, $12 repair kit.
Oh yeah.
How much did it cost this for me to fix this phone, Nate? Because that one's spiderweb.
Seriously, they're like $12 to $15.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have to give me a link.
What model?
What kind of phone you got?
What?
What kind of phone is that?
Oh, it's an LG G4.
You can probably
It's perfect working condition, just the screen.
flip that on eBay for a decent amount.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could. I was just asking him how much for me to fix it because, I like to have a secondary device, you know.
All right, so we got.
Nate's got like a bunch of burner phones, man.
Speaking of the hustle,
Okay, so for the font replacement screen, it is $8
Nice.
with all the tools. Now, if you needed the digitizer, it'd be $25.
because most Android phones, their parts are trash, so it's easy to research. So
Now, for your
as
iPhone,
as it pertains to any device that I tell most people to buy, if it's Android, you buy Samsung because that shit's expensive.
Yeah,
is it a 6S?
Mine's a Samsung.
I'm all iPhone all the time. I'm all Apple all the time.
Yeah. Hey, you were trying to get Frank's, was that an iBook or whatever?
Yeah, I was trying to get that off him.
But you decided to get your own. You're like, screw you.
Hey man, he wouldn't come up off it. Like I'm saying, like okay. Here's the thing, Nate.
Yep.
You were probably there when I was first asking Frank about the iBook, right?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Like this kept going and going. He's like, well, I'm not just gonna give it to you. I said, okay, how much? I don't know. I said, Frank, most iBooks on eBay go between $50 and $100. Tell me how much you want for it. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. So I looked into it. I found an iBook for $30, including shipping, for the iBook itself, and then I bought a charger for it because it didn't have a charger for $6.
Cool.
It was free shipping. I said, got one, Frank. And then after that, I bought a 2000. I think it was a 2003 model Mac Mini. It's gonna be coming in the mail this week too.
Nice.
You gonna be running Recuvra on that thing? so you can like get all the files off and then sell them on the deep web. That's illegal, and you definitely shouldn't do that.
No. I'm actually gonna use the iBook to write my book. Use the iBook to write a book, and then I'm gonna use the Mac Mini as depending on how much of a hard drive I can replace in there besides the 500 gig, which I think is already in there. If I switch it from a 500 gig, I think I can fit up to a 3 terabyte. So
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. The worst case scenario, I have an extra PC to work on. As far as just building something nice to have alongside my regular Mac Mini and my Power Mac G5, which serves as my music server. So by the end of it, I'll have my iBook to write on, this Mac Mini, which is the 2012 Mac Mini, to do my regular stuff, my video production, all that. The Power Mac G5 for the music, and I've been working on like a video server, that way it can digitize and have a virtual backup of all my movies and TV shows. But it's been really hard to find the parts for the main unit, so I'm depending on what happens, I might just go ahead and just get the Mac Mini going as big as possible as far as storage goes, and use that with a NAS or something. I don't know.
That'd be cool. Hey, is your friend still selling that Xeon thing?
I haven't got a chance to talk to him. I haven't got a chance to talk to him.
Yeah, what was the specs on that again? It was like a dual Xeon?
Actually, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Are you still collecting a bunch of computers and stuff, like getting shit for free?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Where's he at? Here it is. He had so it's a server running 2 Xeon processors, 24 gigs of RAM, a 6 terabyte hard drive total, running Windows 10 Pro, and at the time he was also offering another rack server with no OS on it for $250.
What?
Yeah. Is he still selling that? You say you haven't gotten a hold of him though?
I haven't got a chance to get a hold of him, but I can give him a shootout.
Isn't that crazy, Nate?
Let me see.
That shit brand new would cost you like thousands of dollars. Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he basically built it from scratch with his kids. He was trying to teach his kids how to, work on computers a lot, and the dude's a genius, and his kids are geniuses in training, essentially. So, and they were just done what they did, fixed everything that needed to be fixed on the main unit itself, so dude is smart.
Nice. What's he work for? Like Google or something?
I know somebody who works for Google.
You don't know where he works?
Nope.
Yeah. Is he like your friend or something?
Yeah, it's a buddy of mine off Facebook that lives in my area. And, I think he just was also, he had been doing it for so long. I think he was just tired of it, man. He got it to work, and he's like, man, I've been spending so much time on this. So much time on it. So I think at some point he was just like, man, I can't devote 100% brain power to this anymore.
Right.
Even if working on a rack server like that, and I'd actually seen it. Dude, this thing is full rack size. This is the stuff that you put where it's supposed to go if you smell them cooking. This thing
like
don't
that,
go no mini rack.
That Linus has.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This by itself is a beast.
Nice.
I can't even tell you how much it probably would have cost him to source the parts just for the processors.
Yeah.
That's got to be insane just to source.
Did you watch
those?
that thing that Linus was doing, that petabyte project.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about insane. Holy crap! But
1,000 terabytes.
not only that, but like just the RAM that has to go into that, and oh my gosh!
Right.
So he wants $250.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. It was just I think it was, for him, it was just a passion project. I know he wasn't. It didn't seem that he was really into it to make a bunch of money off of it. He wanted to be able to build this thing from the ground up and really kind of push what he was working to do. And he definitely, taught his kids well as far as ability to put things together. Just in the short time that I met his kids, and kids are fantastic. Just okay, this is what we got. Oh, this is what we got. Oh, this is what we got, and just boom, 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 boom. Their brains work insanely fast. Insanely fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nate, did you hear about that whole Pokemon Go festival fiasco?
Oh yes, I did.
It was so crazy. Like, people are just even trying to get out of there, and they had to have a line just to be able to get out of the freaking place, man.
So, for those of you who don't know the Pokemon Go fiasco, let me put it to you this way. Oh man, I'm playing Pokemon Go. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch you on Legendary. Woohoo, woohoo. What do you mean the servers are down? What the fuck? So many people showed up, the servers crashed. So no one could get on. You paid like, I think $150 to get in. And then so many people were pissed and they wanted to leave. They couldn't leave. And then they're like, oh yeah, we'll refund your money in like, oh, I don't know, later?
Wasn't this on an island or something, too?
No, it was like downtown Chicago.
Yeah, hot mess. Hot mess.
See, the thing about this, about that situation too, is the initial tickets were only $20, and scalpers ran it up to a couple hundred.
Scalpers.
Yeah.
Scalpers. So there goes
Did
those
you get
plans.
that Pokemon bug, Doug?
Oh, I was playing it like mad when it first came out last year, and then they started changing everything, and by like month 3, it was unrecognizable from the game that I'd started playing. So I'm like, I'm done with this. I needed more room on my phone anyway. I deleted it. Since I have a 256 gig iPhone now, I re-downloaded it, but I've actually seriously played it like twice since.
So I still play every once in a while, and I got in a raid, and I found an Articuno, and it was 40,000 CP, and you basically need 50 people in a raid in order to take it down. So pretty much, game's bust. I'm out.
Well, what are you playing on the phone now?
Nothing.
As far as me right now, I still have Pokemon Go downloaded. Madden mobile I play. Roller Coaster Tycoon came out with a mobile app, so I've been playing that a little bit.
I still want to get Diablo 2 running on my phone.
Legal card?
You can do that?
Yeah.
Also, Marvel Future Fight, which is a little bit like Marvel Ultimate Alliance in a way. Plays a lot like it. And this next game called Immortal Conquest. I just downloaded a couple days ago. There's a story behind this game. This game itself, back years ago when I had an Android phone, I had this game called Pocket Empires. Love this game. It's fantastic. So much going on. It's basically the first game that had like real-time strategy implemented into it, and it had it implemented well. So it was just a really awesome game. The mechanics were good. The gameplay was tight. Everything was fantastic. And when I switched over from Android to Apple, since then, no game has come close. And even since then, Pocket Empires is actually shut down. The company who did it stopped making it. They no longer supported it. It just doesn't work anymore. So about this game called Immortal Conquest. Plays almost exactly like it, except that it uses mythical and fictional characters to use in the game. It has some different gameplay elements. So if you liked Pocket Empires, Immortal Conquest might just be up your alley.
I'll tell you what, one game that I hate seeing ads for all the time on like even other games is that Mobile Strike.
Oh
Arnold,
my gosh,
Mobile
don't
Strike.
even get me started on Mobile Strike. So many Mobile Strike ads.
Yeah.
Like
Mobile
everywhere.
Strike inventor, if you're listening.
Arnold.
Stop buying ads on
Arnold.
everything. No one will ever play your game, just accept it.
It's like, how much money do you have to put out on ads for mobile apps? Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm so sick and like Mobile Strike, Clash of Clans. Oh, these games are just so like everywhere. This is like, and I was sick of the Angry Birds ads, and this is worse than Angry Birds ever was. This is worse than Candy Crush ever was.
Didn't they just come out with a Angry Birds remix thing or something?
Angry Birds, listen, you will never, ever be as popular again. Just accept it. Candy Crush, same thing.
Candy Crush Saga.
Okay, Candy Crush,
Diamond
you're still
Digger
going to make a
Saga.
little bit of money because people are dumb, but it's okay.
Yep.
I won't judge you. Just don't put any more ads.
It'd be nice not to have to see any more of these like halfway sexualized ones too. Like, I'm all for hot chicks and everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm a dude. But if you're gonna put an ad for Mobile Strike, a couple chicks in some tight pseudo army tops, I'm like, okay, really?
Yeah. Right.
Mom, can I play that game? What's it about? I don't know.
It's about boobs.
It's about, yeah.
Uh,
I just want good quality. Like, do you think they're ever actually going to make a good quality mobile game that, like, because these things can run actually good processing power.
I've thought about that as far as how good mobile games can get. And the only phones I've seen that actually been able to run a lot of these games at like the top level resolutions that they need to be played at. Wow. Cat jumping on stuff. Is like your flagship phones, like your iPhones and your Samsung Galaxy phones. Everybody else is left out, and so many companies do not want to be left out as far as profits and nickel and diming your customers for certain things, which everybody does. It's a fact of the mobile business now.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that if a company said, you know what, we're just going to make a game for this platform or these two platforms to be fully integrated and top level, you're honestly and truly going to see better games come out. Like, I think probably, at least for me, just the games I've seen I've played, the best ones that come close to that would basically be like, your fighting games like your Injustice and your Mortal Kombats and stuff like that.
Right.
And simpler games like Madden. Like, I can play Madden on my phone.
Tell me, like, people wouldn't play StarCraft on their phone.
I think it's possible.
Yeah,
I think it would. Like, I think you could probably run the original or the second Diablo and make it run decently, And I honestly think, if Blizzard did that, people would die.
They would be billionaires. Yeah, of course, people would die. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Diablo 2 on my phone." They'd have a heart attack and then they die.
Yeah.
What were those games? Did you think all those few games that Nintendo tried to put on mobile suck or something? Didn't they do something with
They
that?
did suck. They sucked balls.
Okay, this is Nintendo.
Nate's a Nintendo guy too.
There is nothing that Nintendo puts out that's really graphically intensive. Let's just put it out there, and let's just be honest with ourselves. There's no
paid for Mario Run, and here's the thing. I know. With their Google Play credit, but here's the thing. With Mario Run, you beat it, and it's over, which is kind of weird for a mobile game. They're like, "Are you sure we can't find you to death?" But like, that's just it. It's not that great. So.
Yeah, but don't you think like a Mario Kart would be fun on the phone? Or something?
Mario Kart would be fun on a phone. Doug might not think so, but like I think an Animal Crossing would be good on a phone. But that's about it.
What about some of those games that you do play on the Switch? Because that pretty much is like a little tablet, you know?
It is like a little tablet. You're absolutely right. If you could get a Zelda, but like that's just it.
You're not gonna be able to get the Zelda game on there. I'm just saying.
Like this thing can run GameCube graphics. Top.
Right. Did you guys hear Red was coming out with the phone? You know, those makers of those really crazy Hollywood cameras?
I did not.
I heard about that.
Linus uses they're using a Red camera now. Like, they could do, like, 8K footage on these cameras.
Speaking of K, did you see the 16K gaming desktop that they built?
Yeah. So they built this grid of, it was like 4x4 monitors that made like 16K. You know how there's 4K, Nate?
Yes.
They made it so it's like 16K then.
So if I were to buy a bunch of older TVs and I'd be 1080p, I could do 4 of them and it would be like 432p. Is that what you're saying?
Well, let's do the math. So, okay.
No, that would just be like 4K then.
No, it would be 432. It's 432 pixels. 4,320 pixels.
Well, how much are each screen? What is each screen? 1080, you said?
Yeah, each one was 1080.
They just say it takes four screens pretty much that are 1080p to make a 4K.
Does the 80 not count?
No. Well, 4K doesn't even go up. Isn't technically 4,000. It's like a little bit under it, isn't it, Doug?
Ah, so they're liars. Liars. Oh, well.
1080 is, they consider 1080 2K, actually, I think.
Sad thing is, like, nobody has any of that information online because, like, Linus is the only person to think to freaking do it.
Right.
Now, technically speaking, I think you would need. Okay, so if you need 16 monitors to do. 16 monitors to do 16K, you probably need at the very least. And this is just off the top of my head. I think you would need. Oh, man. I think you would need at least 4 monitors to go to do a minimum 4K, depending on the amount of frames per second you wanted to go at. So I think if you wanted to go with the higher frames per second, you'd probably have to go maybe to 9.
Right.
So do you guys think they could do Rocket League on the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they could do that.
Why the heck haven't they done that?
Because they have such an install base at the moment that they don't want to just jut out to another form factor. I think with them putting it on the Switch, because I'm pretty sure they're putting it on the Switch, they're kind of testing to see if it'll run correctly on a smaller, inferior processor and screen. And to see what they'll have to dumb down and piece together to get it to work on mobile.
What PlayStation can you do on mobile? Can you, I think you could do PS2 at least, can't you?
I can't remember specifically what people were playing on the PlayStation phone. It's been so long ago.
That's right. PlayStation did have a phone.
I mean, all the PlayStation phone really was kind of a juiced up PSP Go. To be honest with you, that's part of the reason why that particular platform failed so hard.
Yeah.
Here's where I think the PS Vita's failed. They made their memory cards too expensive.
Yeah, that was the biggest shock to the stomach that they did. Is honestly, even if they would have kept the memory stick standard, they would have been perfectly fine. You know why? This is something I found out the first week because I traded in my PSP for the PS Vita that I had. A little bit of a trick out there for everybody. And you might have missed this when I was talking about the Vita about 30,000 times beforehand. Your PSP saves that you had for certain games that you were downloading on the PS Vita, it transfer right over. So I sold a couple games and then rebought them. Keep that in mind. I rebought these games for the Vita, downloaded them, used my my content backup, which you basically got free with your Vita. You just installed either on your PS4 or your computer. I put it on my computer. I went into the source files and just swapped them out. Loaded up like nothing had happened.
And how much are the memory cards for the PS Vitas?
It depends. I actually, whenever I bought one, I always went secondhand because they're so much cheaper. People were just trying to offload them at the time. You can probably find a 4 gig right around $12 to $18. If you're lucky, if you're unlucky, you're paying about $25, which was I believe around regular price. Up until the 64 gigs, which even used, you're still paying anywhere between $60 and $80 for it. I think it retailed for around $100.
Oh,
that was the killer that really broke the platform, which sucks because
they could have just used SD cards. Yes.
That was fantastic. If they would have just that's Sony's biggest problem is they always like to go with a proprietary storage system, and that's what keeps hurting everything that they do. If they came out with a version of the PS Vita tomorrow and said, guess what? We redesigned it, same style of storage, except we're ditching the Vita cards and going with micro SD, the Vita would crush the Switch. Like an ant under a boot. For one simple reason. Right now, your backlog of games for the Switch, as far as the virtual console, is trash. PlayStation's backlog of material is insanely large. Hundreds of games were available day one online from PS Minis, PSP, and also PS1, and now some PS2 games are being ported over to the Vita as well.
Right.
The storage really is the largest and quite possibly the only thing that really kind of crushed the Vita as far as momentum goes.
Wasn't it Sony, though, that didn't they pretty much make Blu-ray, though?
Sony was one of the they didn't make Blu-ray per se. They were a part of the consortium to help develop it, and I believe it was their technicians that originally were working on the codec for Blu-ray.
Right.
So
I could kind of see why they would want to do their own thing, because they figure that their proprietary thing will catch on and everybody's just going to start using their shit then, you know?
Well, the thing is, though, is that there's been a lot of proprietary media but invented by Sony in the past that has failed, like mini disc. Mini disc was primarily a Sony.
Oh God, mini disc failed. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I like mini disc too. Like I was into Sony apparently before I even really realized I was into Sony because I thought mini disc was fantastic. I had a player. I had a bunch of mini discs. I was copying music. Like it was the mini disc was really like the first item that hit the market before the iPod did. They really signaled digital media. It just came out at the wrong time. That, and again, it was insanely expensive.
Yeah.
They just need to make it competitively priced.
Yep.
They're just greedy.
Pricing is really where Sony gets punched every time, except for the PlayStation mainline. That's really it. That's it.
That is it.
Can I say something though too? Man, me and Nate were talking about this before. One thing that I don't like that Nintendo does with their Switch games now, and I think some other companies have kind of done it too, is they went to the direction of like them not really putting any effort into the actual physical media that you get. Like with the Switch games, you just get the little cartridge in there, and then in the case is just like a picture for a background. I remember back in the day, you used to get this book, instruction manuals, all this art and cover art and stuff. A lot more effort was put into your product.
Yep.
You know.
And now so many companies are like, well, we don't want to put a whole bunch of money into it just in case we don't get our return on investment and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, if you make something that's worth buying, we're going to buy it anyway. But some people don't have the option to just be like, oh, I'll just go online and download the guide.
Right.
No.
A lot of times you're like, oh man, I'm not going to play this anymore and I'm going to give it a crappy review because I can't figure out the button configuration. Oh man, if only I had an instruction manual to read.
Yeah.
Yep.
And don't you guys just love getting those cheat codes and strategy guide with all the art and stuff in the book? It's like a whole book just for, just like looking at,
Oh yeah. That's something that's really lost right now. As much as people are saying that we're going to digital, so many people still buy a physical, and that's a part of the reason why I say that physical media will never go away. As much as it's been, been taking shots past couple of years because of the media, it's to the point now where
they just want it to go away because they think they can make so much more money.
Yeah.
And I got news for you. You're going to lose money on it.
Yep. And Sony already took the gamble once. Then Microsoft took the gamble. And I do believe that Nintendo's trying to push towards this gamble again, too, by going all digital, all online. Sony took a body shot with the PSP Go. Microsoft took like a kick to the face that rocked them for 3 months with the original Xbox One reveal. And what's it going to take for companies to realize that, number one, the United States, the internet services that we have here, we rank almost dead last in the world. We can't go all digital if we don't have the infrastructure to support it. That is the largest reason why you cannot go all digital in the United States. And I can't remember the dude's name. That's how unimportant he really is, telling Xbox consumers, oh, that's what an Xbox 360 is for if you don't have internet. Yeah, that helped your cause out. But that's the biggest thing. We don't have the infrastructure to support it. And unfortunately, for all these companies that are trying to push for these virtual items, we only have so much room on our hard drives. And you know what? Hard drives are still expensive.
Oh yeah.
Especially
the SSDs, which they pretty much make you use on these systems too.
Yeah. You make me do hardcore installs. I'm just talking about installs. For a game like Madness, like a 50 gigabyte install.
Yeah, that's like a tenth or a 20th, if you're lucky, of your hard drive.
Yeah. I'm going to be more selective about buying games if I also have to save up money to replace the hard drive in my console, which, believe it or not, for some of you people out there, is at least $50 to $70, which is essentially the price of a game, depending on how big of a hard drive I want to get.
Right.
Most consoles, I think, only go to what, four terabytes, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, if I have to keep downloading and also the updates, oh my gosh,
the update.
Yeah, it's like you go to start playing your game and it starts updating, and then it takes like half an hour. And it keeps restarting.
Like, I just wanted to play my fucking game. I gotta wait. I have an hour. What do you mean the update's gonna take 3 hours? Well, fuck it. I'm just not gonna play this.
Exactly.
It's like you couldn't do this while I was away.
That's why I put my PS4 into rest mode. And the updates are almost as big as the main game installs to begin with.
Yeah.
You're telling me that, I got to start off with a 30 gig install. 2 months later, I have another 30 gig update. Then 2 months later, I have another 30 gig update. Something ain't right here, you know? You're telling me that eventually one game is going to take up almost half a terabyte?
No fucking.
You got a problem.
Yeah, that must be like really inefficient with their like compressions and shit, you know.
Oh, that's just it. They don't compress anymore.
Why don't they compress anymore?
Because they feel it's too much work.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
they don't.
Here's something that I have an idea for, which of course they won't ever do because they're too afraid of people trying to hack the source code. If they came out with a program that you could download onto your PlayStation or your Xbox that was basically an unboxer application, and you were able to download your updates to a flash drive and then transport it, because let's be honest here, your infrastructure for your consoles does not support the type of like hardcore downloading that a standard computer can handle. As much as they would like to tell you otherwise, it's not really the case. You know, if you can tell me that I can just which by the way, you can do this with your system updates. Why can't you do it with a game? But that's besides the point. Downloading your updates to a flash drive and just transporting it to your console. It'd probably take you maybe half as long. Am I being unreasonable? I mean,
no.
This isn't that hard to figure out. I don't know why it seems to be.
I think the update should be optional. Right. And also,
I can see why they do certain updates, especially if they're implementing new features and also working on ways to make the game better. I can see to an extent, but
like, what if I was just like, I have an hour. I just want to play my game.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand. I will, like, I'll update later. Like, I want an update later problem. Like, that's what I want.
Oh yeah, PlayStation gives you that option. Start application without updating. You just won't have any internet access.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I think in general, like with your profile and everything, and your banking with them, they need to have a lot better and nicer customer support. Like, I remember we did that article a while ago about that guy that got his account banned because he got hacked, and then he had like a charge on his account, and then so he had PayPal shut it off, and then Sony didn't like that. They're like,
My friend got his Xbox hacked, right? And they took his whole paycheck on what was it? It was what's that soccer game?
Madden or FIFA?
FIFA. It was FIFA. So they spent like $800 in FIFA coins, and they're like, "Ma'am, I didn't purchase these." He's like, "Well, are you sure you didn't buy?" He's like, "I don't own FIFA." And she's like, and she looked at it. He's like, "You don't own FIFA? Wow. Well, I'll get this back to you in 2 weeks."
Right.
See, I just go straight to my bank and be like, "Hey, somebody in Malaysia." I'm not in Malaysia. My bank's like, oh, you're not in Malaysia. Strike.
Yeah, but you remember that article that we did though, Doug, with
Yeah.
Sony. They didn't fix it until they had a bad light shine on them in the media. You know.
I think that somebody just didn't want to do their job, because any time I've ever had any type of monetary issue with Sony, it's been rectified within a day or two.
Right.
And the last time I had an account issue a couple years back where I couldn't get into anything, and I basically was given the go ahead to just keep playing, and they took care of it on their own. I got lucky in that instance, I guess, but no.
Yeah. Not everybody gets that same privilege, you know.
Yeah.
I remember PlayStation doing the PlayStation hack thing.
Yeah.
Like we got like $120 in games and stuff.
What are you talking about?
So, do you guys remember when the PlayStation Network got hacked for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you guys got your like $320 worth of stuff, right?
Yep.
Yep. And did you get your $50 gift card?
Yeah. That was like the last thing that they gave out.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Well,
$170 and stuff. It's like, cool, that paid for my PS3 actually. Sorry.
so what, it got hacked because I didn't have like a PS3,
Yeah, it got hacked.
and then
It was
one.
down for like, I think it was like 78 days or something like that. It was a long time. It might have been longer. But essentially, for the hack and the fact that it was like ruined for like 2 or 3 months almost, they just like shelled out cash. They shelled out cash to every single user. They gave free games out to users on their dime. It was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, and did you ever? Okay, so I'm gonna get shit for this and a lot of people didn't like this. Did you ever play PlayStation Home on the PS3?
Long time ago.
I love that. I miss that.
Yep, I used to dig that.
Man, I would buy that. Because if you did that, you got 2 free games for playing that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you had like Arkham Asylum, you got like the Bat Cave, and you had a Batmobile. It was like Second Life, but for PlayStation, and like.
Oh, is anybody even on Second Life anymore? Like,
Sadly.
Speaking of, here? I'm going to go to Second Life.
We're going to Google this.
I've never even played Second Life. It's still there.
I don't know. Isn't there? I thought I heard about a similar game though, like recently with that they took off with like $600,000 of Kickstarter money. Like they ended up like they like went back to scratch or whatever after everybody paid the money for it.
That would piss me off.
Yeah. Well, they like sold their company, and then the other company was like starting all over again. Yeah. You gotta be careful with those Kickstarters, right?
Yeah. I signed up for a Kickstarter recently, and then I read the fine print, and I'm like, oh, fuck no. It was a universal gaming controller.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can play it on your computer, your Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, fully map out your PC controls, invert the access, customize your control schemes. Awesome. 24-hour battery life. Awesome. But then they want $100 for it, and then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, if you don't have the USB port dongle, which is another $20, so you're at $120 right now. It doesn't work for consoles. So I'm like, cancel funding.
What have you backed any shit on Kickstarter, Doug?
I've come close to a couple things, but a lot of like things I'd be interested in, like I end up finding after the fact, like after it's already been funded or it's already lost or whatever.
Yes. That has happened to me many times.
I can't tell you how many times it's like, oh man, it'd be super cool if I saw one of these out on the market. I wonder if Kickstarter has anything going on. Campaign ended 1 week ago. Oh damn, you know. But that's really the only one I've actually effectively like kind of patrolled to see what's out there. I haven't gone on Indiegogo. I haven't gone on Patreon or anything like that.
I have gone on both. I've bought things from both. I've been satisfied and disappointed at the same time.
I thought about starting up a Patreon for this channel. That way I can like really fund more videos. I've been like in a content lull for the past couple months just based on the fact I haven't had a lot of money to really go out and get stuff.
Patreon. Oh man, talk about black market shit. Oh wow, it's crazy. You'd be like, cool, we'll send you Patreon things for us doing this illegal thing. Like, we'll light one kitten on fire if you pay us $5. Like, tons of illegal shit. It's so hard to find it, but if you search in there in Patreon, oh man.
Yeah, you know, ISIS is on Patreon.
Yikes.
Probably.
Yeah, I've thought about Patreon to help support the channel as a whole. What's the best way to put this? Like, I've come like that close. I have the app on my phone. I have most of what the campaign would be as a whole in my head. I just don't know. I don't know as a whole what would be a big reward for people just being able to see the channel. Because I mean, yeah, I don't get as much ad revenue as I did before. It's not like I've been super affected by the adpocalypse ordeal, but it wasn't like I was getting paid, $600 a month from YouTube anyway for the content I was putting out beforehand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've thought about it. I've debated it. For now, I've been putting it off just because, number one, like this right here is a good starting point, getting this show together and really putting out a good product every week, something that people can listen to and actually get used to. Okay, every Sunday night, 10-ish, you know what I mean? And possibly finding other things to put on, like I'm going to be doing the unboxings of the Apple products I get this week. Unfortunately, I got in the game too late for the new Apple TV and the new iPhone to really kind of be effective on that, which sucks. But
what are you gonna do?
But
you should do. I want to see a Smash unboxing. Like, I want you to like smash whatever you get something and put in a box and you smash it, and then you're like, okay, I'm doing this Smash unboxing, and it's like, oh, this is in bad shape.
Let's take it to the Apple Store and see if they'll fix it.
Let's see if they'll fix it. Can I get a quote on this? What is it? I think it's an iPhone C. You guys still fix that? And you're like,
Well, the thing is, though, like,
it's my Android.
YouTube actually went through a phase like that a couple years ago. Oh, yeah. All you have to do is get on YouTube and look up, like, Smash My Xbox, Smash My PlayStation. Like, these guys would actually, they wouldn't even do, like, a proper unboxing. Like, they'd have this guy stand in line. They pay him to stand in line and buy the PlayStation 3. And then he'd just be walking out of the store with the box in his hands. He'd stand right there, unbox it, take it out of the box, hold it up, and say, SmashMyPlaystation.com. Some dude would give him a sledgehammer, and they throw it on the ground, and then BAM!
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That was a thing. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find one on YouTube real quick. If so, I'll link it in the chat. Wow, that's a long time ago. 5 years ago, 11 years ago. Oh man, like that's because I finally smashed my PlayStation.
So I have a question. I'm reading on the illegal things on Patreon. What is 8chan?
Oh, that's a variation of the 4chan?
2 times worse than
That's
4chan. All right, there's I linked it in the chat to smash my PlayStation video from 10 years ago.
I think there's 16chan too.
Oh dear. but yeah, yeah, the whole Smash My was replaced by Will It Blend, and I'm not sure what else is going on now as far as product destruction.
I used to watch one.
I just like
called,
watching those test drop videos.
the microwave videos.
Oh, Will It Microwave or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you also got the torture tests that people put like to play the Samsung Galaxy phones and the iPhones through.
Yeah, like that guy that does the 100-foot drops will survive the gizmo slip.
Yeah. So that's
But,
it's the product destruction genre. Yeah.
it's just like we were talking about on the show this weekend because Frank was like he was buying a monitor, and what was it? He said he realized it wasn't like the guy didn't have like a good picture of it or something.
Yeah.
But I was saying, those. I wonder if you can make a lot of money by like just getting like a bunch of like really good looking products of like like models of products, like good monitors and stuff, but then get like a whole bunch of like really busted versions. So like you take a picture of the good things and then you just sell the really crappy ones.
Oh boy. That's something too that I've noticed on eBay. Because I was looking for some, of course, older PCs and broken ones and stuff like that. Something that I can either piece together, help Frankenstein the main server that I've been working on. Because I think the only thing I'm really missing right now is RAM. But
hey, I just bought some RGB RAM, man.
No chance in hell. But it's like I was noticing like older Mac Pros going for $600. I'm like, okay, it's a broken Mac. It's a broken Mac that's also 11 years old. I can't justify that. You know what I mean? The fact that I got the cheaper ones was purely luck. And an iBook would definitely go between 50 and 100. That'd be about what I would have paid. The Mac Mini that I got also probably normally go between maybe 100 to 200, and that's I would have understood paying that.
Are you talking about the old broken Macs for like $1,500?
Oh yeah,
Oh, do you know why? They make them into fish tanks.
Oh no, these are people that like they'll sell them for they'll attempt to sell it for $400 to $500, and needs power supply, or needs blah blah blah, or needs blah. Like the iBook that I bought said it was 4 parts or not working, and in the item description said it was untested, needs charger. Okay then. The Mac Mini that I bought was actually advertised as working Mac Mini with AV adapter included. It's honestly, as far as the secondhand market goes right now, your secondhand like MacBook 2017 units or 2016 units are going for about as much as MacBooks from 2007, 2011. The working ones, and as much as I really enjoy that, and Apple product, keeps its value over time generally, there does come a time where like you can't update it anymore. You know,
Yeah.
the only thing I can say about that is that it still works, it still functions. You can still use these for practical everyday uses. You can't really go online with them, but your data sourcing and stuff like that. Like I'm going to be using the iBook strictly for writing. That's a fantastic use for an older model. The Mac Mini, content archiving, fantastic use for an older model. It has practical uses. It just doesn't have a straight up modern day use like your normal MacBook and Mac Mini and Mac Pro would have. By the way, just heard from my buddy there, Ian.
Yeah.
He's actually now selling those servers individually.
Oh, really?
So if you guys are interested,
How much?
I shall ask.
Does he deliver?
I don't think he delivers.
I'm in Ohio-ish. How far away are you?
Oh, he lives in Mansfield. Well, Doug does.
Duffield.
Does it ship?
I don't know if I'd want to ship a server like that, man. I don't know. But where was I? Oh yeah, just your value is it's a little overstated. The secondhand value for the most part is overstated right now, which is really sad. It sucks that
Yeah.
I could go on to like Power Max or Mac of all trades and potentially pay less for a certified refurbished Mac that on eBay would go for potentially twice as much. That does not compute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your secondhand non-guaranteed market is selling more than your certified refurbished market. How does that work? I don't get how that works.
People don't like the term refurbished. They never have.
Actually, refurbished means there was a lot more scrutiny than the original thing.
Yeah. And one thing I learned when I was working at Walmart working for tech stuff is that Apple products per se in specific, most iPhones, the way it used to be was it was a 10-point a 10-point quality check before it leaves the plant in packaging. Certified refurbished has like a 50-point check.
Oh wow.
So like you are getting a higher quality product out of a refurbished item than you honestly do out of a brand new item as far as a quality guarantee goes, because they also has like a 60-day guarantee or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And I think that most refurbished items you can still buy Apple Care on. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
One thing I also found out about my Power Mac that I have here that I use for my music, I had to download the newest version of iTunes, and I had to go through a lot of that rigmarole. One thing I found out is that this guy was made 2003. Apple still had all my updates for this model on the website, and it downloaded with no issue. You tell me what Windows product and what Android product still has, literally 14 years later, the software of the original model available to download.
Well, I mean, like what I've been doing is going and trying to find drivers for like all my computers and stuff. And I mean, you can still get pretty old version of drivers, but you just got to look for each individual component in your computer,
Yeah.
But
it's crazy, It's crazy.
Yeah. Also, I would say that too, though, like if you could get open box for a lot cheaper too, just get open box and then get a decent like protection plan on it that's pretty cheap, and you got a cheaper thing, you know. That's is protected if something's wrong with it.
Yeah. Like Best Buy does open box deals all the time. Of course, Apple is very harder to get open box deals for, but they're there. It happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that you got to find the right place that will do it. I mean, one thing I did mess around with one time when I was at an Apple store down in Columbus. I just bought the Power Mac, and so I'm in there. We're talking and whatnot. No, it was actually about a couple months after I bought the Power Mac, and I was buying the Mac Mini. So I looked at him and said, "Okay, I got a question for you." It's like, "Yeah, what's up?" It's like, "Do you have any recommendations for a Power Mac G5?" And you just see this guy just stop, and like you just see like the blood drain out of his face, and like something like some synapse went ping in the back of his mind. He's like, I have to go talk to my manager. He runs off, goes talk to his manager. The manager comes back with him and says, "You're looking for some stuff for Power Mac G5?" I said, "Yes, sir." It's like, "You really don't have anything that'll work for that." I'm like, "Okay, just thought I'd ask." So I was cracking jokes to him. I was like, "So since I beat you guys, do I get a Genius t-shirt now?" They're like, "No." Of course, I gotta be the Apple geek and do stuff like that. So,
what I want to know is how come Apple never came out with their own TV?
There's actually still rumors that they're working on that. Actually, having their
television screen.
Yeah, an actual television. There is rumors that this has been in the works for quite a few years, and they're still working on it, but they have not perfected the design that they're looking for quite yet. As a matter of fact, I thought I might have seen an actual or like a article on that a couple months ago.
Well, what's there to go into the design? It's a rectangle.
Well, okay, you got to think about this though. When you talk about design for an actual Apple television, close your eyes and tell me, like, out of every single Apple product that has a screen that you've seen in the past, do you see anything that is regular about it? Like going from the iMac to the eMac to the Sunflower to every single Apple product that has a screen. Is anything truly like just regular and bland? Even down to the Apple Cinema display. They've always made changes, and they've always wanted something just specific for the Apple vision of the product that they're putting out.
I thought that was Apple's whole thing, like with their tablets and their phones, is they do try to go simplistic, with the design.
Well, they go simplistic, but not bland. You see what I mean?
I guess.
Okay, let's see what I have. I just pulled up something from
if they do come out with the TV, they should call it the Big Mac.
Oh, dear. The last time I'm seeing anything here about an Apple television set was back in 2014. That at least from CNET, of course. 2015, I'm seeing something. Looks like they might have given up on it. Let's see, from Macworld UK. That is from 2015. So yeah, apparently a lot of people are according to these reports, are saying that they'll never see the light of day. Which is really sad because so many people liked the cinema display. But again, I mean, that's how old now? So
right. That'd be kind of surprising though, because I mean, you just picture a nice quality television set that would already have like the Apple TV built into it,
Yeah. But even so, Apple is so very specific on parts, and going from monitors to actual television sets, that would be a massive change as far as design goes, how thin they would want it to be, how the bezels would work, the design as far as any type of smart functions, which there would be smart functions. How it would work with your, you know what I mean? It's when you stop and think about it, it's not surprising that Apple would just say, you know what, that this market isn't worth getting into.
Right.
Mostly
What's the biggest Apple Cinema display you can get?
I think
like a 32 or something.
Oh man, I think it was like 20 inches, maybe.
20 inches? I thought they had bigger ones than that.
Would you be mad if Apple changed their company name to Orange?
That would suck, man. No. It was 27 inches.
Yeah.
The product itself went from 1999 to 2011.
What's that 5K one that they have now?
That's the 5K iMac.
Oh, okay.
That's the desktop, the all-in-one desktop. And that's a whole nother story. Whole nother story.
Yeah. I mean, Apple. Yeah. Apple's done the what?
Something else, because oh man, all this Apple talk's making me a little nauseous.
Well, I mean, Apple's made some. They've had some failures, like their video game system and stuff.
Well, when it comes to the video game system, that was in between of the Jobs eras. Apple in itself, the things that they were doing in that time frame were so inconsistent with the type of vision that Jobs really had for the company. That was one of the first things he put the kibosh on when he came back. He had a specific vision as far as what Apple could get into and be successful at versus what were just like itty bitty passion projects that probably would never see the light of day.
Right.
That's why when Steve came back and he was like, okay, this is where we're going. This gone. Bye-bye.
Yeah. It's just it would be something nice to see them try to do TV though, because like even if they've failed on some things, like it's always good to at least try something, I mean, no company is perfect.
No company's perfect, but no company also wants to lose $1 billion on a television. Well, and you kind of have to think too that if Apple went towards making televisions and making them available to the general public, that'd be a lot of money. A lot of money.
You think it would cost a lot of money just to do a trial run?
Yes. Oh, yes. Part sourcing, product integration. No.
I'm back, folks. I got a little nauseous. I had to go to the bathroom. All this Apple talk. No, I used to play on Apples, but it comes down to gaming. Like with Apples, that's the breaker.
See, for me, it comes down to function.
I have to play games, be able to play games on it.
Yeah, but gaming is such a small function as compared to everything else. Apple doesn't push itself to be a gaming computer, and
that's where I'm not sold. That's what I'm saying. If it was a gaming computer, I'm like, cool.
Well, technically, it is a gaming computer. They just lock you off because Apple doesn't. They don't see their units as mainstream gaming PCs. They see themselves as form over function and form over overall. And
Apples are more for like working and like designers and stuff,
Professionals and prosumers, the people who will do everything from simple YouTube functions like me to writing to having a time machine to do data archiving. I know that there's been some YouTubers I've seen who've actually used their old Macs as actual online servers that they run their individual websites off of, and they never have to touch it ever again.
I'm just saying, like, why lock the function off? Like, they had potential to make money.
Because you don't really see too many GTX 1080s running in a Mac Mini. Yeah. Apple has and this is something that everybody hates Apple for, but I love Apple for, is that Apple has the lockdown on every single function that is used in every single Apple product. They have a death grip on everything that you do on the product, and that's by design. And that's also what keeps your software and your hardware, for the most part, because nobody's ever perfect, safe from a lot of malware and spyware and things like WannaCry. They have their form. They will not sacrifice their form for anything. I don't see anybody putting a GTX 1080 or even a 1070 or 1060 into a modern Mac Pro. It's just not going to happen.
You could always do one of those emulators, though, where you emulate the Windows on the Mac.
Yeah, you can run Boot Camp.
Yeah.
Like, why would you if you could just have a Windows?
Because Boot Camp works and Apple allows you to do it. That's one of the few concessions that they make. Hey, guess what? You can run both OSs off of our hardware. If you're really that hardcore, you go for it, I guess, And you can run an external video card, even though support isn't really that good for Macs, and you can run a really basic external video card, run your GTX 1080 if it works, and have a hug day,
So it wouldn't stop you from buying a Mac, then, would it?
That's just it. Like, I don't really see a bunch of functionality besides playing computer games. Like, I run my 3D printer off of it and my computer for a little bit, and then then I unplug, and it's like, okay, well, at the end of the game, this is a gaming console.
Unless you actually came to the light side of the force and actually played your games on real consoles.
I mean, I play them on real consoles too, but I also play on computer too. As mods.
Yeah, Nate, he doesn't even have a cable, like a regular TV monitor. He uses his TV actually with his computer, uses it for watching everything on his computer, to playing games, to doing the 3D printing stuff. So his computer is meant for everything.
Right.
See, I can use my Mac for most of that too. If you actually had a bird's eye view into my office right here, you would see that I have the Power Mac right here to my right. I got the PS2, the PS3, the PS4, and also my PlayStation TV right in front of the TV here. The Apple TV.
Yeah, I've got a.
Huh?
I have a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Dreamcast, 5 Super Nintendos, 6 N64s. I have probably 4 PS4s.
So we can expect to see you on the next episode of Quarters.
PS2.
What you're telling me.
Dude, he's got an old tube TV just so he could, so it's compatible with his older systems.
Yeah.
Because those, some of those newer TVs, they're not even compatible with it,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
But again, everything I use gaming wise and content wise is right here. And of course, once I get one thing I did forget to mention too. Speaking of the Apple TV that I have here, I actually bought an original 160 gig first generation model yesterday too. So I have the new and the old of everything except for a MacBook. That's because I ain't got $1,600 to drop on the MacBook.
Well, that's the thing though. I have to admit is like people that are into Macs, like they obsess about the specific versions like way too much. Like some people have like shrines of the old products. You know, I mean, it's like who cares about that shit? You know.
Yeah, honestly, right now the only thing that I don't have a specific plan for at the moment is the Apple TV. That's really the only thing I like, because I was initially going to use it as like a as just a portal to the server, which I might still do, but like I haven't gotten to that point yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just because now I'm going to have 3 Apple TVs in the house, all 3 of different generations. Because I'll have the first generation, I'll have the 3rd generation up here, and I have the 4th generation, which my wife got me for my birthday, in the living room. So we're definitely going to an all Apple house.
Hey, did you ever get your anything like a replacement or anything for your Amazon Fire Stick?
Oh. Nah, not really.
You just watch everything on your new computer now?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
See, I thought about going with an HTPC as well. My wife and our roommate have expressed interest in actually having a home theater, and like I want to have them have the option to access like pretty much everything that we have at the drop of a hat. So
yeah.
I've thought about having an HTPC and going that route. But I'm like, well, would they really use it? I'm slowly getting the roommate into the new Apple TV because she was so used to the old one. You know, it's just like baby stepping everybody into the new stuff, and and it's a slow process, but we're still working on it.
Right. No, I got my mom a MacBook Pro, and like she doesn't even freaking use it.
Man. Did you say she doesn't use it?
She does not use it, but she'll claim she uses it, but like no, she doesn't.
Oh my roommate. Oh my goodness, dude. We'll be just be sitting around. We're talking about something like, well, I wish we could look up that and she's holding her iPhone in her hands.
Right.
Yes. Right.
Like you have the entire power of the internet in your hand. Use it.
Right.
Like literally when we got iPhones and we started messing around and blah blah blah, she's like, I never use one of those. I never use a smartphone. And then slowly she started to get why smartphones were such a good thing. And then she eventually got an iPhone. And then like now she plays games and messes around on it a lot, and she uses it for YouTube and blah. And she's like, oh, I still don't use it for much. I was like, your battery's dead every day. Like, you can't not be using it for something. You know?
Right.
Like, you live on that thing almost as much as I do, and I use my phone a lot. Like, do you honestly get what's going on here? You're a power user. You just don't admit it. You won't admit it. And you'd be even more of a power user if you like thought about having the phone in your hands when you have the phone in your hands.
Yeah.
We were talking about heat lightning the other day. She's like, oh, I wonder what heat lightning is. As she's playing a game on her phone. Oh my god.
Did you ever see one of those lightning balls actually go through a window? That's happened.
A what?
A lightning ball?
A lightning ball.
Oh, no.
Those exist. You've heard of those, right, Nate?
Yes, of course I've heard of those.
They're like, well, you explained it, Nate.
They're basically spheres of lightning.
Right.
Thus, lightning ball. And you're like, what the F? And, because I can say that, right?
Right.
The letter F.
So it's like you know, Kame.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Kame.
You got.
it's a very rare phenomenon, but it does happen.
But yeah, that's just like
Uh,
I'm working on what I'm gonna do next, and you know, building the servers and stuff, and getting that up, and gonna be working on the book and blah blah blah. It's like I can't wait to actually start a box and stuff to have more content for the channel and be able to just really dig back into this again. And because
yeah,
like
he gave up on the video game.
I had to, man. Like there was just like I could honestly, when I was looking up C++ and like looking at different commands and stuff, I'm like, okay, well, that's not bad. But at the same time, I was trying to do like 5 other things, so I had to choose. I have to pick and choose the certain things that I'm working on. Otherwise,
Yeah, he's doing a movie too.
yeah, that's one of the things is that I have to pick and choose my options and what I'm working on because the brain power only goes so far. You know, I try to keep up
You should
on.
pick one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
you're
like-
really focusing on your book right now.
Yeah,
I do the book.
that's the big thing. That's the one thing I'm really heavily working on right now because it has to be so involved in what I'm working on and the mythology and the fact that I've been but before this past year and a half, I've done more work on this within the past year and a half than I have in probably the past 10 years beforehand. Of like, just actually doing the real work as far as the book goes, and working out to make sure things are logical, and I already have the plot, at least for the first book, everything down, and part of the second piece, if I can get that far, but it's just that it's gotta work out in the mythology,
Yeah, that's what you were saying was the mythology was the big thing right now.
And the one thing that just wrecks every other story out there is your backstory and everything that leads up to your actions of your main characters. That's the one thing that will bring down the entire house. You don't have a good foundation, your story has no leg to stand on. Just ask Stephanie Meyer.
Who?
The chick who wrote Twilight. Just remember this, kids. Twilight begat 50 Shades of Grey. Trash begets trash.
50 Shades Darker
begets trash. So.
Well, Doug, it's going on 2 hours now.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that there for a second. Like, oh boy.
See what happens just like with our show when you don't have a direction.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a good 2 hours. It's a good 2 hours.
Yeah.
So,
I
think we're gonna kind of leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. But
yeah,
I want to thank, of course, you, Ian, for popping on today, and Nate as well. Faceless Nate.
Yeah.
Faceless Nate.
Thanks
That's right.
Thanks for having us on.
All right, guys. Well, again, thanks for coming on, and thank everybody out there for watching, sticking with us for the whole almost 2 hours. Next week, if news picks up a little bit, it might be a little bit better off. But 10-ish Sunday nights, ladies and gentlemen. We're sticking to a schedule.
Your health stuff there?
Huh?
You gonna plug your bodybuilding stuff?
Well, I think everybody knows what stuff I'm doing on. Anything you guys want to plug?
Just the Talk News and Trivia show on my channel, Ian Adams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Friday nights now.
Yep. Friday nights about 9, so only an hour earlier than this show.
Oh, yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
How about you, Nate? You want to plug anything?
don't buy that universal controller. You get screwed.
Right.
And on that mercenary note, ladies and gentlemen, I'll thank everybody out there for watching. Of course, check me out on Facebook, AphroditesCrush Entertainment. Of course, Twitter and Instagram, AphroditesCrush. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Good night.
Peace out.